Okay. Hi everyone. So this is like our second to last lesson of trig, so that's a little bit exciting. But we're strangely going to look at the area of a triangle. You might be thinking, well, I already know what the area of a triangle is. It's just half AB or half HB. But you'd be right. So we're done. Now let me draw a triangle. As with the start of every lesson, I can't draw a bloody triangle that joins. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to label this A, B, C, that's A, that's B. Now, what I've kind of stated here is that, I guess to find the area of a triangle before, what you would need is the height and the base, because you know area equals, so maybe I'll start with that. We've got area equals half times base times height, which means I need to know my base, so I guess just judging by this picture that has my base, and I would need to know my height. Remember, my height's my perpendicular height, so then these need to meet at a right angle. So let me just draw that. So I kind of need to know what that height is. Let's call that height H. Now, what I've said here is that I should be able to find the area of any triangle given two sides and an included angle. So that's exactly the same as with the cosine rule. So you can find anything used once you have two sides and the angle in between. So I'm going to define what they are. Let's just use A, B, and C. Let's use A, B, and I call my included angle C. So let's suppose I know these three things. What I want to be able to do is fill in my area formula. Most of this lesson is going to be me deriving a formula, and the whole point of this is just you're using a formula, that's it. But I thought I'd show you where it comes from. So I'm looking for H. I want a relationship between H and all my other stuff. Now, let me keep going. 1/2. My base here is actually A. So I'm going to go A, H. Now, H, I can write that as, using my angle that I know, that's the opposite over, well, hypotenuse. So I can write H, well, let me just do that. So pick a side, I can write this. Sine C equals H over B. So sine this equals opposite over hypotenuse, that is opposite over hypotenuse. I can rewrite this as H equals B sine C. So all I did was grab this B, move it up here. Okay, now I've got something, now I've got H written in terms of B and C. So that's 1/2 A, B, sine C, and I'll tell you what, that's literally it. That's kind of where it comes from, but all you really need to know is that I can find the area of a triangle in two ways. Half base height. If I don't know half base height, but I know some of the sides and one of the angles, I can do half AB sine C. And I just literally remember that, half AB sine C. Like I just remember memorizing that in high school. That's it, that's literally it. So I'm gonna put a box around that because that's important. I'm gonna create one example because there's not really much else you could be asked. Should I just make my own up? I'm gonna make my own up through the textbook. Let's draw a triangle. This music's very calming. I don't know, 3, 4, included angle. Let's make it nice, 45. Alright, so in other words, what I would normally need to do is, I guess, draw this so that it's got a nice perpendicular height, but I don't need to do that anymore. I'm just going to call this A, B, C. Area equals half A, B, sine C. That equals half. Why don't I write 3? Half, 3, 4, sine 45. Let's go all the way. You could just type that in the calculator, but I'm going to... 3 times 4 is 12, half, that's 6. Sine 45 is 1 on root 2. So that's 6 on root 2, which approximately equals, quickly, root 2. Oh, I've got one of these fancy calculators and it came up as 3 root 2. Give me that as a, approximately 4.24. Okay. That's it. all you need to know for this lesson is that this is the equation for, this is the formula for the area of a triangle if you don't know what the height is. If you do know what the height is, obviously you're just going to use this. Now, look at the top corner here. I wrote interesting notes. If you look at the textbook, it says something about just for the record, like after the exercise, and there's like 4 different area of triangle formulas, and I thought they were really interesting. So and there's a couple of questions asking you about them. So if you really wanted, have a look at them, because I didn't actually know they existed. I just knew about these 2. So I think that's kind of interesting.